Hey, you guys, I hope you all are doing well and had an amazing week. I have a beautiful young lady here, Miss Rehema. I say it right?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Um, because I'm y'all know me, I mess these names up, but that's what I do, okay? Not intentionally. But thank you so much for coming on our channel. We appreciate you and your time. And you just seem to be a beautiful spirit person. So I'm excited to hear your journey.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. I really admire you. I love seeing a black woman in this space. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Who's taking us through their journey. That's
Mm-hmm.
important. You know, a lot of times on social media, they're already at the end, and
Yeah.
you're just looking at you. You don't know how what the struggles are in the in between. So whenever I see that on social media, I cherish it truly.
Yes.
So
Yes.
thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank
Hmm.
you. Thank you.
Hmm.
So I like to start out by asking, like, how was your eating habits? Because a lot of times people, I've found that everybody don't eat the standard American diet.
Yeah.
Some people they eat home cooked, whole base food growing up, or they ate healthier foods. So I like to start out finding that out as at
No,
first.
thank you so much for asking me. My childhood, I have two immigrant parents. Both of them are from Africa, and we moved here, and they were looking for their American dream for sure.
Mhm.
And they had me and my sisters. I have two other siblings, and we were the kind of family where they were always busy. They worked a lot, so we were home alone a lot. And the type of child who wanted attention.
Mhm.
So I turned into a people pleaser,
Mhm.
and I did everything I could to make them happy and, perform well or be as good as my sisters. I'm in the middle to be as good as my sisters. So when I did interact with cooking and my family, I was trying to finish my plate and show them that I'm done
Mhm.
and eat everything I could and be that one that was like trying all the things and doing all the things. So I have pleasant memories when it comes to food. When I was younger, me and my mom would cook together to bond. That's
Mhm.
how she shows her love.
Mhm.
So I grew up loving food and loving eating food. What I didn't put two together is that my emotional issues. I had a lot of anxiety. I was very sad. I was always tired. Those things I didn't connect it to the way I was eating at the time.
Mhm.
Um, and when I got as I got older, my parents divorced, and to stay close to well, for me to feel close to them, I would eat,
Mhm.
and I would cook the foods we used to cook together, and it became an unhealthy habit that I wasn't connecting to my emotions. Still, even in my teens and early 20s, I wasn't connecting it to my emotions. But I would eat in excess, and then feel terrible. Eat in excess, feel terrible.
Mhm.
And I was like, one day I just said, enough.
Mhm.
Enough of feeling like this, enough of that, this and that. Went to the doctor. I was told by the doctor nothing was wrong with me, things like that. So I say all this to say I had an unhealthy relationship with food that resulted in me being very depressed and really sad.
Mhm. Wow. That is a journey and something that I
And
hear a lot
mhm.
of. And that the foods are the ones are one of the corporate to the mind part. You know,
Yes, yes. It's
transform.
so important. It's
Yeah.
so important to know, and it's something I talk to my daughter about now,
Mhm.
because that's how soon you really need to start thinking about it, is when you're a kid, when
Yeah.
you're forming those habits.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now I wouldn't have thought you had a child.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yes.
wow, you look young. So
Yes. I have a 10-year-old.
10,
10.
really? Wow,
Yeah. Her
you look
name is Joy.
Joy.
She's 10, yeah.
Oh wow, that's beautiful, beautiful. You look
Thank you.
good.
Thank you. Thank you.
My 13-year-old is way
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
yes, yes. So, how did you get into plant-based raw foods, high raw? How did you get into that? Did you, because I know
Yeah,
you did
I
a,
love this question. I've always been the type of person that tried to eat healthy. So
mhm,
I've tried all the different fads because, I said I have 2 siblings. They're very petite, and
mhm,
I've never understood why I wasn't.
mhm,
And so I began, researching why my health wasn't where I needed to be, why it was so hard for me to get up in the morning and exercise. Like,
mhm,
I didn't understand why I was doing what I thought was the work, and I wasn't getting any results.
mhm,
So it started in that way, and I had tried before to be vegan, but it was the type of vegan where I was buying all the frozen foods and going out to the vegan restaurants, and I failed quickly. I think I lasted about 8 months
mhm,
and quickly went back to eating,
mhm,
non-plant-based foods. So then I began going to the doctor and I was like, "What can you do for me? I don't feel good. I'm overweight. I feel like I'm obese. Like, I feel like I'm headed down the road of diabetes because this is something that runs in my family."
mhm,
And they told me, "Your blood work looks good. I would stay away from eating carbs, but you're okay, and try some light exercise." And
mhm,
for me, that was very frustrating because it felt like what I had already been doing, to the point that I was starving myself. I wasn't eating. It was very unhealthy, toxic relationship to have with food where I would punish myself for eating and then not eat, then eat more, then binge out, very unhealthy cycle.
mhm,
So I'm like, what's gotta give? So what happened is I took everything out. And I don't mean food, I mean, in the life perspective. January 1st of last year, I just said, "I'm gonna sit with myself and figure out what the problem is, because it feels like it's coming from within." And that's what a lot of people need to understand is when people say it's a lifestyle change is because you have to start with your mindset. It begins with your mindset, right?
mhm,
So I had to sit with myself and be like, why are you so upset? Why do you feel you're not good enough? And it goes back to childhood. It goes back to having those deep-rooted conversations and that shadow work
mhm,
where you discover the root cause of
mhm,
these things. And once I did that work, I started to become very intrigued by consciousness,
mhm,
very intrigued by spirituality. So I started doing research, and that research led me to realizing that food and my mind are and my gut are directly related, right?
yeah,
So I so once I knew that, it was like light bulb, right? And I was like, "Oh, so that's what it is." And I began watching videos on YouTube. I found Dr. Sebi, I found Adama Alaji, and I started reading up on their books, doing podcasts. It was just like a spark, right? And from there, I was like, I feel like I've cracked the code. The energy was unreal because I went cold turkey on that January 1st. I went cold turkey, began eating fruit-rich diet from that point on,
mhm,
and within a week, and I won't lie to you, and I think it's important to say the detox symptoms were there.
mhm,
I suffered in my first 3 months of having bad skin issues, going to the bathroom all the time, feeling like, "What's going on? What are these fruits and vegetables doing to me?" But once I got over that hump, the energy flowed effortlessly. I was jumping out of bed and being looking for a workout. Remember I said I was at first not couldn't get out of bed. I was jumping out of bed and being like, "So what do we do? What are we doing? What do
yeah,
you got?" So, like, that change, that flip happened so quickly to the point time flew by. Like, now I'm at a year,
mhm,
70 pounds, like, of I feel like emotional baggage off of my body, and I'm coming at every day like, what's next? Whereas before, I was in depression of, like, "Why do I have to wake up again? Why do I have to do it again?" You
mhm.
know? Completely opposite situation. So, yeah, that's how I got here.
Wow, that's a journey,
Yeah,
and
thank you.
wow, such a healing journey as well.
Yes.
So thanks for sharing that with
Mhm.
us. So during that time, like what was you eating? Because I heard you mention fruit.
Yes. So, I mentioned Adama Alaji. She's a healer who works out in Atlanta, and she doesn't do a lot of speaking, but I caught one of her videos that's very long, and she went into depth of you need to start your day by cleansing your body.
Mm-hmm.
All that work that your body has done through the night to digest, you need to help that process through by loving your body, by putting in some nutritious, delicious fruits. So I'm African, like I mentioned. We
Mm-hmm.
have an endless abundance of fruits where I come from. And yet, no, it's not our breakfast. Our breakfast in Malawi, where I'm from, is a grain, is gonna be porridge, it's gonna be potato, it's gonna be something starchy.
Mm-hmm.
Um and so this was foreign even to me, but I love a fruit. I love a fruit. So
Mm-hmm.
I just started with something I love, which is oranges. And I would have as many I would buy bulk oranges from Costco, and I would have as many as I could eat in that sitting.
Mm-hmm.
And from after that sitting, I would go on with my day, and I would get hungry pretty quickly because it's just oranges, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have a next level up food. I also took into account food combining in this time because I had read up on that. So
Mm-hmm.
then I would have a next level fruit, something that was a little heavier, like a banana smoothie or mangoes, something like that, a sweet fruit.
Mm-hmm.
And then as my day will go on, I'll have a craving more so for a savory item, and that's when I'll bring in fruit and I mean vegetables. And I was having things like heavy salads that I would add nut butter like base dressing. So I was still having lots of nuts and things like a tahini. I would love a tahini. And then at night what I would do is I would have a semi raw meal, like I would have a rice based or a bean based salad, very very large, something that I at the time felt was satiating because I didn't really feel I could fully go raw at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I got there very quickly because the energy and the way the food, I was learning more about how to combine foods to make them tasty, the more I was able to sustain myself on this diet.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was a typical day for me in the beginning, and I loved it. Just the change, just the flip from starving myself to eating as much as I want
Mm-hmm.
changed so much
Mm-hmm.
for me.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, okay, this is what living is. This is what loving food is. Like you don't have to change that part of you. That part of you that loves food and
Mm-hmm.
loves putting together food like I used to with my mom, that doesn't have to go away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what really has helped me pull through to the end with the lifestyle.
Wow, that's good. Wow. Fruits, how healing fruits are to the body.
Health
And
food, it really is.
yes, and oranges. That was one of the fruits, and bananas is the
Yeah,
two of the things I used
rock
to when I
star
was
fruits.
younger.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right, doesn't it bring memories from your childhood? Because those are the snacks we used to have, and
Yeah.
then I feel like you get older, I have family members who don't eat fruit at all.
Hmm.
They
Yeah.
feel like they're allergic to fruit, that fruit, doesn't make them feel good, but when you look at fruit and you realize that they're a natural detoxifier,
Hmm.
they go in our body and they do us good, so if you are having those symptoms, maybe let that happen.
Yeah.
Maybe let it go on a little bit, maybe keep eating it, maybe you'll get some right there.
Yes. And the cleansing that it does.
Exactly, exactly.
Wow. So I know you mentioned, and I've heard her speak in probably the video you talked about.
Yeah,
Now, how you say her the
Adama, yeah,
Adama. I want to get
Alaji, mhm.
yeah, I want to get her on. Uh,
She is a remarkable woman.
yes, yes, very strong. You can see she's small and
Yes,
like the
mhm, in
mother.
stature, right, but mighty in spirit.
Yes,
Exactly, exactly.
yes. When she speaks, there's power come through.
Mhm,
Come through. So yeah, she's one of the inspiration, and Dr. Sabi.
mhm.
Is there any other people that inspired you to continue your journey?
Absolutely. When I first started, like most people, when they come into the raw community and they're looking from the outside, it overwhelmed me. I
Mhm,
was really stressed about preparing, and they're always saying, you have to prepare early, and you need a dehydrator and a Vitamix and a juicer and like I just was really overwhelmed with what I would need to do and what I would need to change in my life
mhm,
in order to have this lifestyle work for me. So I really held on to waking up and consuming, and when I say consuming, I mean consuming videos, you know,
mhm,
um,
mhm,
of people who did this lifestyle in the simplest way. So those are people like Ted Carr,
mhm,
Freely the Banana Girl, people who do the lifestyle, but do the lifestyle in a way that's realistic for me. Ted Carr is the kind of person who he travels all over the world
mhm,
and doesn't feel the need to have his he has a blender, of course, but he doesn't feel the need to have all the extras, the
mhm,
nut butters mixed to make a cake and making a fancy dressing here and there. No, it's a simple brass tacks of fruits replenish us, they
mhm,
give us the living or the living things that we need to survive a day. So this is what I need to eat.
mhm.
And that's what I embraced the most, because that pressure of feeling that you won't make it to the next day or you haven't prepared in the right way is can be scary for people. So
Yeah.
Ted Carr, Freely the Banana Girl, I really loved there's this um Kamaria Dominique
Oh, yes.
does podcast. She is fantastic.
Yes.
She is fantastic. So people who keep it simple are
Mm,
my favorite content creators to follow, to be honest.
mhm. Yes, and I think it was 2009 is when I came into the raw food, learn about it and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And back in the days, I call it back in the days, uh, there was a few of us women on here, and we would come together and do like challenges.
Right.
We would make these gourmet raw dishes, and I know some of my recipes is in some people's books, but and that's fine because I wanted to share. That's
Yes,
all about
yeah.
sharing and people educating themselves. But it was so much fun back in those days where we would do these challenges and send gifts to each other. It was just
A real community.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I think I might be the only one still.
Still rocking.
But yeah, which I've all been off and on, but this has been the longest, other than I had a hiccup last year trying to figure out some things.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, it's amazing how the foods have changed and can change a person's life with
absolutely.
even thinking and cleansing out toxins. Um,
Inside and outside in your environment, easily.
yes,
You
yes.
will see, like, the more you consume these foods, the clearer your state of mind even becomes,
Hmm.
and you see the forest for the trees, and you make decisions in that light.
Hmm.
I've now started a certified nutrition course.
Hmm.
Like, that's how deeply I wanna get into these foods and help other people, because you'll find when you're in this lifestyle, you not everyone trusts your opinion,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
And you're just when your intention is only to help,
Hmm.
I wanna fully establish myself in that lane so that I can do that
Yeah.
for many, many people.
Hmm. Yes, yes, that's beautiful. Do you have any family when you spoke about helping others? Do you have any? And I know that's probably the hardest is
Yeah.
when it's your family. But do you have any family members who have taken on the way you eat, or maybe partially?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that run in my family. We have diabetes, cervical cancer, heart disease, and fibroids, things that Black women get in a percentage that's way higher than any demographic.
Hmm.
And, when I first adopted this lifestyle, I can't lie that that wasn't on my mind. That those things were very much on my mind, and I had researched, that veganism had literally cured these kind of ailments. So
Hmm.
I took this back to my family. Not everyone took it well. But through example, the same people who at first were like, no, 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 this can't be sustainable. This can't be something that you're doing for real. This isn't real food.
Mhm.
Those same people, through watching me
Mhm.
thrive and lose that baggage that I was carrying on my body, and um literally be happier and make decisions and bigger decisions in my life that I ever, I felt like I was crawling at first, and now I'm taking strides in my life. The
Mhm.
people who are watching that are like, "Can I have some of that? Can you slide some of that over here?" Like when I make a salad or my nori wraps, they're like, "Can I see what you're doing?" And so, like, I feel like that's really the attitude you have to take on. Like, I don't talk. Like, if you want to argue about this, you're not going to get an argument out of me.
Mhm.
I'm really teaching through example and walking in that light that I want to show them this is the way. And I promise anyone out there who's dealing with the same kind of issues, they'll come. They'll call you eventually. It might not be right now, but they're going to be like, "So could you help me?" It's coming. So I
Yeah.
don't even worry about it.
Yes.
But
Yes.
but to answer your question, my dad, I was staying with my dad, and he has completely started being like having okra for dinner, completely vegan for 2 weeks straight. So like
Um,
it's really been a blessing to see my impact on the ones that I love.
wow, that's beautiful.
Mhm.
My husband back, and I say back in the day, we started out with green smoothies that I used
Mhm.
to do challenges on my
Mhm.
channel. And a lot of people was introduced to green smoothies. They didn't even know that looked like us. They didn't know what a green smoothie was until I started doing challenges, and they started calling me the green smoothie queen and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But I would tell my husband, like, come on, can you eat this? He's like, look, I got to eat food because the type of work I do. I got to have
Right.
my food. And he was talking about processed foods, McDonald's, burgers, all that kind of stuff because we all ate it here. Um, and now today, for the last what 6 years, 5, 6 years now, like he eats so good. Like he eats plant based. And he's driving people like, what are you doing? What you eating? Because he
Yeah.
around people younger than him.
Right, right.
Yes, our employees and stuff. And it's just amazing to see the
The
transformation
transformation.
and how
Mhm.
he wants to eat. Like he has to have his green smoothie, he has to have his fruits and things of that nature. And it's great to see the impact that you have on other people.
Exactly, exactly. It's beautiful to
Yeah,
see.
yes, yes. Wow, that's a beautiful journey to share and to for people to
Mhm.
watch, and I like that. So, what are some of the? Now, I want to ask you, did you have any healing that you saw, other than the way you were thinking?
Yes, absolutely. I was suffering with bad skin.
Mhm,
So I did go through detox symptoms of having really bad acne. But once I was able to change my mindset and see it as a blessing rather than being like, "Oh, I'm ugly," or "Oh,
mhm,
I I was able to uh, allow the body to do what the body does, and
mhm,
it cleared out.
mhm,
My skin's genuinely never been better. I had calluses on my feet,
mhm,
that I didn't correlate as a symptom of diabetes.
mhm,
There was discoloration around my neck that was able to, clear up.
mhm,
I had hair loss. My hair loss, com I don't know if it's miraculous, but completely has cleared up.
mhm,
So I've been able to heal myself in more ways than I even anticipated,
mhm,
and that's, I mean, such a driving force to, like, just see what the body can do, and,
mhm,
like, it's pushed me in a way that I'm more so active and so intrigued by pushing my body to, because 'cause I've practiced yoga for many years, like, over a decade,
mhm.
but only when I became raw was I progressing in my practice more so in this 1 year than I probably did in the last 5. So
Wow.
it's like pushing my mental space, pushing my practice, pushing my body, and it's just, I mean, it's so exciting to see it. This is the excitement I've been seeking my whole life. And I think you'll find like a lot of the people in this space who choose to be raw vegan are
Mm,
seekers. Like they're people who are looking around life, like what's going on? What is this? Why are we here? What's like there were always people who are looking for more.
yeah.
It's so exciting when you find that thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a part of living. It's
Mhm.
growing and to not be stagnant. And I believe food can cause stagnation in
Yeah.
a person's life where they 10 years ago they're still doing the same thing.
Mhm.
They're still speaking the same and no growth, no
Yeah,
change. It has to be
absolutely.
progressiveness, in life. And I believe food plays a big major role in that.
Mhm.
Like you say, you get up and you ready for the day. It's like, what can I
Yes.
conquer?
Mhm.
It's the food because your digestive system is cleared, so now you
And
have
it's
energy.
fueled with living food, not
Yeah,
dead food.
that's right. Exactly. Yes, yes,
So that's we're electric beings. This
yes,
body is electric, it's a machine, so you have to feed it accordingly.
yes. The right
Mhm.
fuel.
Mhm.
So, did you have any cravings, or do you have any cravings? And if so, how did you handle that?
I was never a sweet tooth person. I've always been like a hamburger sandwich kind of girl. So for me, it was like, how do I satiate myself
Mhm,
throughout the day without feeling that craving for the bite and that. So what I did was I would never meet that hunger. I would try to get ahead of it. I
mhm,
would supply my body with the right amount of nutrients, and you'll find if your body has the right amount of nutrients when you don't have to supplement. Like I don't supplement with any kind of pills. I will have a herbal tea, but that's about it.
mhm,
But if you are supplying the body with the right amount of nutrients, you will be less hungry throughout your day.
mhm,
The body is asking for certain things, and because we've been so conditioned to go after foods like fast foods and other processed foods, sugar and carbs, we don't know that the body's asking for this nutrient right here. But
right.
if you get ahead of that and you're having your sea moss and you're having a high juice content fruit in the morning,
Mhm,
you're gonna be fine throughout the day for way longer than you would think. You
mhm,
stay hydrated and you stay, nutrient rich through your day, you'll be less hungry. So that's really how I combated the cravings, and especially at night,
mhm,
um, a lot of people get that sweet tooth right after dinner. I
mhm,
make sure I every single day, even now, I have a pre-dinner, which is a large amount of fruit that,
mhm.
happens right before that last meal so that sugar craving doesn't hit me afterwards.
Wow, thanks for the tip.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
putting her thumbs up
Mhm.
over here. Um, oh my gosh. So, oh my, what I had so when you was this is me. When someone is speaking, I visualize everything they're saying.
Mhm.
So I'm there. What it's like I see everything you're talking about as if I'm experiencing
Right, right.
with you. So I just got caught up with what you were just sharing. Are there any? I heard you mention sea moss, but is there any other? Even though it's not a supplement, but some people may say it is. But do you take any other supplements?
Yeah. So, sea moss is something I try to take a lot just to make sure I have all my, nutrients
Mm,
going for the day, and in some days where I'm having a lighter intake if I'm working or anything like that. But
mhm,
I do love moringa leaf. Moringa leaf is a leaf native to Africa. I mean, that thing is packed with nutrients and protein more so than you would think.
yeah.
So I also have moringa on a daily basis, but those 2 are really the only things that I'll take. I love to have a lot of fruit. I do, Brazil nuts, raw Brazil nuts as
Mhm,
well for selenium,
mhm.
but that's about it.
Wow.
I try to keep it as simple as I can because if I add too many things, that's how I fall off. So I have to keep it as
Keep
simple
it
as possible.
simple. Yes, that's good. My little one over here.
Yeah.
She's doing this.
Mhm.
We have a moringa tree growing on our property here.
Yes, I love
Yes.
that. It's not that hard to grow, it's really not.
No, it's
Mhm.
not. And uh we had to regrow it well once, and just take a stick and regrow it. It's so tall up, I can't really reach the leaves from
Amazing,
there.
amazing.
Yes. So you get it in a powder form and you just put it in a
So
smoothie.
I get it from in a leaf form, and I live in Washington, DC, so it's very hard. I don't have a garden here.
Hmm.
I go to the international stores, and in the international stores, they always have a wall of herbs,
Hmm.
and you can look and find a moringa, and you can get a very large bag for a small amount.
Hmm.
It's not a very well-known herb, so you can get it for really good prices,
Hmm.
even in the city.
Wow, that's good. That's
Mhm,
wow. And I need to, I'm just thinking I need to, and I, from my research and stuff like that, I'm a herbalist, and we all are healers,
mhm.
because we can heal our own selves,
Absolutely.
if we pay attention,
Yeah,
um, I have to get more of the moringa as you
yeah.
speak, because, like I said, I can't reach it. It's not a plant that I can,
Yeah, yeah.
because it's tall. I mean,
Mhm. It's got legs on it, huh?
yes,
It's
and you
growing.
eat the whole thing. Have you tried eating the seeds since they're,
I have when I was back home, I have, it was an experience. I really and you know what else? If you want a coffee replacement, moringa and cayenne
Mm-hmm.
together, just not a lot of cayenne,
Hmm.
that'll get you going. Sometimes I'll put lemon, that'll get you going in the morning. So that's a really good mix I like. But what as you were saying, we're healers. I always think back, especially when I'm talking to Black women, of how we were before all of this colonization and what have you, and how we would live in communities. And that's who we go to. We go to the women of these communities and you ask them about what they're growing and what plants they have and how this can heal you. We have always been the healers.
Hmm.
And so it felt so full circle and so natural when I came into this lifestyle and I came into this because everything I do now, my daughter, you should ask her. She laughs at me because it's now become everything I do, everything I wear, everything I see. It's this new light of natural well-being, and it just feels so good, so so effortless, is what I should say. Honestly.
Yes.
Hmm.
Is your daughter, does she eat like you?
She does, and ferociously, like, has to have her lunch made for school with all her fruits, because she knows I personally don't go anywhere without a bag full of at least a cantaloupe and
Yes.
some oranges, like
Yes.
I go everywhere prepared, so she's now the same way, and
Mhm.
it's really interesting to see her growth and how she develops her own opinions on things. I'm sure you can relate.
Yes.
It's so interesting, and she'll come to me and she'll be like, I don't think that we really should be eating meat,
Mhm.
on her own accord. So
Yes.
that's really beautiful because I didn't say, I'm going on this journey, you're coming with me. She came on her own, and that's just been really great.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Mhm.
Yes, I have the same experience with my
Yeah.
my little one. I
Mhm.
don't have to stop calling her my little one, but she told me I can still do it.
Yeah, that's okay then, okay? You got permission.
Yes, I got permission. Wow. Um, so I'm enjoying this interview with you, this conversation. Um, so it took you how long to lose 70 pounds? Like, I know that's gonna be the biggest question people want to know.
Yes, so I started at 265 on January 1st of 2023,
Mhm.
and so I haven't stepped on a scale in, like, a month, so I don't know, but I've lost 70 pounds as of November.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
that's 100% for sure because I filmed a YouTube video where I stepped on the scale. So since then, I've just been working out the same, and by working out, I just mean in the mornings, I do yoga, and then after my yoga, I'll do, like, a light hit exercise of
Mhm.
just, like, maybe some jumping jacks, sit-ups, and squats. So nothing too vigorous,
Mhm.
but I do that every day, and the weight has just been falling off. It really has. I went from being able to, not being able to fit into clothes to not having to throw away those clothes because they don't fit me anymore. But the funny thing is, as much as I wanted to lose weight, it wasn't my driving force. I just wanted to stop feeling so bad.
Yes.
It's like genuinely, I just want to stop feeling so bad. So
Mhm.
honestly, I don't know what to do about all the weight loss. I have to go shopping again. I don't know. So I'm just here for the ride, honestly.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and I understand about the clothes, and
Yeah.
soon as you buy new clothes and then they hanging off,
Right. It's like, oh, whoa, whoa.
yeah, yeah, it's fun, but then it could be expensive, so,
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
like, stay with the clothes till you get to the balance,
Yeah,
where you at,
absolutely.
so, yeah.
And I have a jewelry business where I make rings. I make a lot of rings and they've been falling off of my fingers.
Oh,
So
wow,
it's a whole nother issue
wow,
in itself.
wow. Do you have on any of your jewelry
Yeah,
now?
yeah. So this is jewelry that I've made here.
Oh,
My site's called Mataka Malemia.
okay.
Um I'll send you I'll send it to you. But I make jewelry. I make this. So I do mostly brass adornments.
Mhm.
But I also do copper. I do all kinds of things. Yeah, these earrings are copper wire.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah.
Oh, beautiful. I do have your link in the description,
Oh,
um,
thank you.
your Instagram and whatever you have
Okay,
connected.
great.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much.
Such a beautiful, spirited person, and
Thank
wow,
you.
I'm enjoying this. Um, wow. So I'm just, I don't even know which way to go right now.
Mhm.
Do you have like what percentage of fruit would you say that you eat in a day typically? Like, well, when you were losing weight, well,
Yeah,
not.
no, absolutely. I love this question because more so than a raw vegan, I consider myself a fruitarian.
Mhm,
So I would say that 80% of my day is going to be fruit.
mhm,
Whenever I'm hungry throughout the day, like outside of my meal. So I might do watermelon in the morning, and then I'll have about a few apples when I get hungry again, and then I'll might have a smoothie.
mhm,
So the beginning part of my day will all be fruit. In between there, when I if I get hungry, I have things like I'll grab a date,
mhm,
I'll put some nut butter on it,
mhm,
something like that. So it'll be mostly fruit. In the evenings when I have my salad, that's when I like to be creative and go ahead and make sauces, and I'll have nori wraps, or I'll have crunch bowls, or
mhm,
I'll have like zucchini noodles mixed with carrot noodles. I love to be creative at dinner time. I never It's never boring with me. But I keep it simple. I only like the as far as tools that I use my Vitamix, and I have a juicer. But I don't have a dehydrator. That's soon to come.
mhm.
Hmm.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't went through a lot of I have my,
Oh, really? Yeah. Tell me.
it's like 13 years old and it is a Excalibur, but
Hmm.
I've bought two other Excaliburs, same, supposed to be the same exact one, because the second one broke, um, and then the third one broke.
Yeah.
Like, they don't make them the way they used to.
Hmm.
So I also have, I think I have a total of five. Is it five? No, I'm serious. Five,
Yeah.
because I have another location. I had one there too, which I now brought here. But I have another Excalibur. It has the doors that swing out. Um, that one's pretty good. But the ones that everybody have, I wouldn't recommend people
Yeah.
buying. What they're doing today is different, and it's
They're
so
not meant to last, huh?
right. And
Hmm.
it's plastic, or what is it? You can't put, like, you could not put nothing on top. I wouldn't put maybe a tray, one of the trays or
Yeah.
something. You can't put stuff on it, like something heavy. You just put taken out of it, and because eventually it's going to fall apart.
It's gonna
Yes.
bend. Ugh.
And now I've just bought a steel one. It's stainless steel,
Mhm.
Now that one seemed to be pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all still around, and the trays are the same. It's still the only thing that the thing I like about the Excalibur, the first one, and well, all of them that I had, they don't have the like if the power goes
Right.
off, and it'll come back on, and then the Excalibur come back on. It doesn't have a timer. So I
Oh.
like that part, and glad I still have.
Yeah, because you know it's long term in those dehydrators. They're
Right,
able to
right.
use that.
So yeah.
Yeah, I would love to dehydrate. I love a dried okra. You should try
Oh
okra
yes.
chips.
Oh yes. I've done.
They're so delicious.
Yes, and zucchini chips,
Yes,
and
they are just scrumptious. And you know, sometimes it's just a texture thing.
mhm.
You just want to have that crunch. You just want to have that bite.
Yes,
So, so good.
yes. That's one of my things. I love the salty, crunchy. And I want
Mm-hmm.
to ask you, do you eat salt and spice? Because I know in Africa they're not have that love for spice.
Absolutely. I'm a spice girl. I'll spice up anything I make, but
Yeah.
I don't do salt. I'll do like dulse flakes.
Hmm.
I'll do Celtic sea salt, but
Hmm.
I don't I try not to add salt because I know it contributes a lot to the inflammation that was going on inside my body at the
Hmm.
beginning. And swelling runs in my family. Through the diabetes that we also have, a
Hmm.
lot of women in my family have swollen ankles, swollen arms, swollen toes even. So I was really I've always been careful to I had to slowly wean out salt because I at first I thought it made my food taste bad not to have
Hmm.
salt in it. So I really had to work with myself to slowly. I started with pink Himalayan sea salt, pink Himalayan salt,
Hmm.
and then I slowly then I went to the Celtic salt, and now I usually use dulse flakes, which is just like a seaweed
Hmm.
flake. And it really helps add that umami salty flavor to the food that I make
Yeah.
without having that actual salt in it.
Yes, yes. And I've been salt. I went saltless for maybe 3 weeks.
Mhm.
And I have the dose and
Mhm.
use lemon and lime
Mm.
to
Celery too. Celery, like if you want a sauce, celery is kind of salt. It will give that salt taste too.
yes, yes. But it wasn't hard.
Mhm.
Once I did it, it wasn't hard. But I
Mhm.
ate something that had salt. It was really salty, but then it's like, oh yeah, you remember this, so let's start eating salt again.
No, it's very easy. It's very easy. I treat it like an addiction because when I made this lifestyle change, I also stopped drinking alcohol.
Hmm.
I stopped any toxic reality TV. You know what I mean? You just have to cut out what you have to cut out.
Yes.
Um, but I also had to understand that there's temptation in the world.
Hmm.
And this is just like one of those any of those other addictions like alcohol where you have to understand that when you're exposed to it, you're
Hmm.
going to have that longing feeling. You're going to have that memory. Like it's connected to a memory of a delicious time, a delicious thing.
Hmm.
So I don't beat myself up for consuming. I
Hmm.
understand that I'm human, but I'm also like you remember you this is for a reason. Like you feel this way for a reason. Keep it moving. Remember how far you come and where you're going. Honestly.
Yes. I'm when I got on here early, I'm told my little one, I'm like, oh, my face looked puffy. And
Yeah,
then I'm like, well, did I eat a lot of salt last night? Because it
exactly.
will do that. So,
And that's what happens on this lifestyle. It actually becomes so easy to realize, like, you'll have a reaction, you'll be like, "Oh, no, that's because I had oil." That's because
yeah.
I was consuming so and so, and
Hmm.
it's become easier for me. Before, there was so many different things going on in my body, I didn't know where to start. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I didn't even
Yeah.
know what was going on. But now it's become really easy for me to be like, "Oh, it's probably because you consumed this," you know?
Mhm. Yeah. And that's being conscious.
Mhm,
That's
exactly,
Yeah, that's
exactly.
the thing I'm working on, being conscious, chewing
Yes.
my food,
I
because there was a time I wasn't digesting salads at all.
Yeah,
Like it came out the same.
yeah.
it just wasn't working. And I'm like, look, I have been eating these salads all this time, but it was only till I started eating more fruits. And
Mhm.
last year I started eating. I'm like thinking it's still 23, but that's when I started eating more fruits.
Yes.
And that's when I noticed my sleep changed. Because I only used to sleep for 4 hours for years, like for at least what 13, 14 years. Um, but once I started eating more fruits, my sleep got better.
Mhm.
And it's like I crave it. Like I got to go to sleep. I got to get my rest.
I okay, I'm very glad you said that because I thought it was just me. Before I had insomnia. I couldn't
Mhm.
sleep, but now when the sun goes down, when 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock hits, there's no fighting it. Like, I
Right.
could be anywhere. The sleep is there, but like I said, in the morning, I'm jumping out of bed, so I don't mind that part at all, but
Yeah.
it does improve your sleep, and I'm sure it's because fruits are healing our guts, and our guts are our microbiome is so integral in far as how our brain processes and how it lets go and allows us to relax.
Yeah.
So I'm very sure that these things are related.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
I hear a book. Do you have a book that you're gonna be working on, or you have?
Okay. Okay, so it's gonna be raw hema healing, and I'm thinking of and wanting to develop language where I can speak to women who look like me and get down to a relatable level and talk about things like eating fast, which is a lot of things a lot because we're moms, right? We're
Yes.
like trying to get the kids in the car, to get the food down, go to do the next thing, you know. So
Yeah.
like it's about being selfish for once and being like, it starts with me. If I want to have a healthy family, if I want to have a healthy community around me, it starts with me. And I have to be selfish sometimes to get there, to
Yeah.
be able to be the best person I can be for those around me. So that's what it'll be focusing on. It'll be coming out soon. I have a TikTok video. I mean, sorry, TikTok. I'm trying to be young. I have a YouTube video that is coming out this week. That's gonna be a what I eat in the day. So it's gonna just take you guys through what I typically eat. That's coming out, should be the next 2 days. And yeah, that's it. Like I said, I also have a jewelry page, which is Mataka Malemia, and I'll put that in the bio of Rahema so you guys have access to that. Yeah, that's what I have going on.
Wow, that's
Mhm.
amazing. I can't wait. I
Yeah.
love to support people, great people. So I will definitely be once you post that the book is out, I will be purchasing it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, yes. Yeah, we got a comment from Easy Butterfly. Do you have any last remarks that you would like to share with us?
Absolutely. I just want people to know that this lifestyle may seem daunting, but as long as you're eating enough, it is doable. Sit down and eat until you're full. Don't starve yourself. It's not sustainable that way and it won't feel good. As long as you're eating enough and give yourself the patience to go through any detox that may come, because, first of all, our skin is our biggest organ. Our
Mhm.
body has to work through whatever, how many years prior you've been eating non-plant-based foods. It's gonna be a process. I'm a year in and I'm sure I'm still going through detox processes, but changing my mindset from, oh, I don't want this to be happening to me on the outside, to I love myself and I'm gonna allow myself the time to heal, really will help carry you through, and you'll be better for it on the other side.
Yes, yes, that's beautiful. Totally agree.
Yeah.
And I've been hearing uh, some of the things that you're saying is loving yourself first.
Period. Yeah.
That's something that I've taken hold of probably for the last 2, 3 years, maybe somewhere now,
Mhm.
because I didn't do that, and
Yeah.
I saw the evidence
Mhm.
of myself putting people first. And you start out speaking about being a people pleaser.
Yeah.
Didn't think I was a people pleaser, but I was a people pleaser.
Mhm.
I'm not that today.
Yeah.
And I love myself first. I gotta
Mhm.
protect me. Like, you gotta take care of yourself first. You gotta love yourself
Absolutely.
first. You gotta feed yourself the
Absolutely.
nutrients and all the things so you can be alert, be that mother, be that
Uh-huh, yeah. You
wife, that
can't do that hating yourself, you have to do it through love. It's the only way through. You know what I mean? It's the only way through, and it's harder for us because the past ha we're dealing with generational trauma. So the past is what the past is, and so we work so hard to correct it in our children, and
Mhm.
you're working so hard at that, it's so easy to forget you.
Yeah,
It becomes even easier to forget you. And
yeah,
then we have, husbands, partners, friends, family, like, it's becomes harder, so it just is what it is,
yeah,
honestly, yeah.
yeah. That's what I teach us now. Love
Mhm,
yourself
mhm.
first, because when it at the end it's gonna be about yourself and what
Yeah,
you did, and did you accomplish your thing that you came here to do, and it has to start
absolutely.
with loving self and knowing who thyself is.
Mhm.
So that's important. So thank you. I'm not
It's
Rahim.
been a pleasure.
Yeah, did I
It's
say your name right?
Yes. No, listen, Rahima, Raham, I've gotten them all.
Okay.
I've gotten them all, so don't
Yeah,
worry.
me too. I think that's why I mess people name up, because they call me Bernice. My name is Bernice. But
Yeah,
I just say
see?
yes, hi, what you want. But anyway, thank you, my sister, my
Thank you.
beautiful queen sister.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for coming on our channel. I hope you can come back again, especially when you get
Absolutely.
your
Yes,
book.
what exactly, I'll be right back to tell you all about it.
Yes, yes, we'll
Yes.
be waiting on that.
And
Please
we'll
come back.
connect on social media.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you for having
Thank
me.
you. Thank you so much. Love yourself first, because you are worth it. Peace. Thank you guys for watching.